in Hyderabad, India in October last year, many important decisions were taken as a follow-up of the previous COP held in Nagoya, Japan, including agreement in principle on the goal of resource mobilization of doubling international financial flows to developing countries. A midterm review of implementation of Aichi targets to be conducted by 2015. In order to preserve biodiversity, it is important to strengthen internationally coordinated cooperation among the countries concerned. Japan wishes to further promote cooperation in these endeavors with other Asian and African countries. Madam President, how to follow up the Rio Plus 20 and the strengthening of the UNEP are very important tasks. Japan believes that the Rio Plus 20 conference has brought about an important outcome, such as highlighting the importance of green economy and integrating Sustainable Development Goals, CDGs, into 2015 development goals, which could lead to progress in international endeavors in the future to achieve sustainable development. Japan attaches importance to the developing countries making transition to green economy and announced its Green Future initiatives on the occasion of Rio Plus 20 conference. Japan has been advocating the innovative concept of city building, such as the Environment Future City Vision. Japan wishes to actively share its ideas, knowledge, experiences with the international community in such areas as building of disaster-resilient society and environmental future city. Japan has also high tribute to the positive results of the 27th session of the UNEP Governing Council Global Ministerial Environmental Forum, in particular on such institutional reforms and arrangements which are necessary to strengthen its role so that the UNEP would be able to assume a central role in implementing environmental dimensions of sustainable development within the UN system. Thank you.
Thank you, Japan. I have two more requests for the floor. I'll give the floor now to Malaysia. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Madam President, the Honorable Secretary General, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Madam President, Malaysia take note the decision of the 18th Conference of Parties to the UNFCCC, which, among others, mandated ad hoc working group on the Durban Platform for Enhanced Action to continue and streamline its works and reaffirm its continued commitments towards completing a negotiating text of a new legal instrument. The said legal instrument would be applicable to and be agreed upon by all parties to the UNFCCC and have legal force under the Convention by May 2015. Madam President, Malaysia wishes to underscore that the ADP is not a forum to renegotiate, rewrite, or reinterpret the Convention. In this regard, the said new legal instrument should be formulated based on the provision of the Convention, particularly the principles and commitments entrenched in Article 3 and 4 of the Convention. In this respect, Malaysia emphasized the importance of Article 4, Paragraph 7 of the Convention in formulating the said new legal instrument. Additionally, the formulation of the said new legal instrument shall always be based not only on scientific finding, but also on the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities, the respective capabilities of parties, as well as the promotion of sustainable development. It shall also address the four important pillars of mitigation, adaptation, finance, development, and transport technology, as well as capacity building. Madam President, in regard to the Kyoto Protocol, Malaysia notes that the parties to the Kyoto Protocol have adopted the Doha Amendment to the Kyoto Protocol by decision CMP8 at the 8th session of Conference of the Parties, serving as the meeting of the parties to the Kyoto Protocol held in Doha, Qatar in December 2012. Malaysia notes that the amendment to the Kyoto Protocol established a second commitment period to the Annex 1 country from 2013 to 2020. As a parties to both Convention and Kyoto Protocol, Malaysia welcomes the decision to amend the Kyoto Protocol to establish the second commitment period, as it is the only existing legal binding framework under which developed countries undertake quantitative commitment to reduce greenhouse gas emission for the 8-year duration spanning 2013 to 2020. Malaysia believes with the said amendment, developed country parties to the Kyoto Protocol that have nevertheless not willing to adopt emission reduction target for the second commitment period or have never ratified the Kyoto Protocol should, in the true spirit of the Convention, undertake to reduce greenhouse gas emission in comparable manner to the Kyoto Protocol second commitment period and not shift the burden of reducing emission to developing countries. Madam President, therefore, in the context of existing ALCO mandate to continue to monitor the progress in the implementation of climate change negotiation, Malaysia would like to propose ALCO to streamline the ALCO member state views and position on this matter, and for the respective ALCO member state to bring forth such views and position in the future UNFCCC negotiation. Madam President, for the initiative under the access and benefit sharing, Malaysia acknowledged the need to put up in place an effective implementation to internalize the Nagoya Protocol on access to genetic resources and fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from utilization to the Convention on Biological Diversity. Malaysia had undertaken to continuously making effort to enact its national legislation to facilitate its ratification of the Nagoya Protocol. Madam President, in addition to this discussion, Malaysia wishes to recall our national plan in addressing environment protection as mentioned by Malaysian head of delegation in its general statement. Malaysia believes that initiatives at the domestic level are the key to future regional and global legal cooperation to achieve sustained, inclusive, and equitable economic growth, sustainable development, and eradication of poverty and hunger, as envisaged in the document The Future We Want. In this regard, Malaysia would like to welcome ALCO member states and ALCO Secretariat proposal for sharing best practices and expertise to enhance further cooperation in this particular area of discussion. Madam President, last but not least, Malaysia would like to support ALCO in urging the ALCO member state to actively participate and express their approaches, in particular their stand on common but differentiated responsibility as entrenched in Article 3 of the Convention at the forthcoming negotiation on environmental issues. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Malaysia. I'll now give the floor to Democratic People's Republic of Korea. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, the humanity has been making great efforts for a long time to realize their dream of righteous and equal world, clean and green earth. International conventions and protocols for environmental protection, such as United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and Kyoto Protocol and the United Nations Millennium Development Goal, were adopted, and many countries are endeavoring and cooperating with each other for their implementation. Today, environmental issue, particularly the issue of climate change, is a vital issue for not only contemporary generation, but also future of human race. climate change is seriously detrimental to socio-economic development and human activities, and developing countries with weak capacity to cope are bound to be affected most. It is important that developed countries should fulfill their duties and play a greater role in reducing greenhouse gas emissions and help and cooperate the developing countries technologically and financially to improve their ability to cope with the climate change. Madam President, today the DPRK government, under the wise guidance of our Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un, considering the environmental protection as its important policy, strives constantly to complete the domestic laws for protection and development of natural environment. Such domestic laws include law on environmental protection, the forest law, law on water resources, law on protection of useful animals, law on the program of land development, law on the environmental impact assessment, law on weather, and so on. We are also fulfilling our obligations under relevant international treaties such as United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, Kyoto Protocol, Convention on Biological Diversity, and Vienna Convention for the Protection of Ozone Layer, which DPRK is a party to. The DPRK government pays its first attention to enhancing combustion efficiency of coal combustion facilities and for preventing air pollution by purifying exhaust gas, and encourages the introduction of advanced energy efficiency technology, as well as the development of renewable energy. In the future, we will make greater contribution to the efforts of the international community to achieve the Millennium Development Goal. We will also strengthen the regional and international cooperation and the cooperation with ALCO member states in the environmental protection of Earth and fulfill our duty as established in the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. I think we'll disperse for lunch, and after lunch we'll carry on with the next agenda item, which is Law of the Sea. Before we disperse, Secretariat has to make a few announcements.
Distinguished delegates, today at 6 o'clock in the evening, before the Japanese reception, the EPG is going to meet for a short while. So all the members of the EPG are requested to assemble outside this hall, and we'll see where we'll have the meeting. Tomorrow at 7:30 p.m., Madam President will be hosting a dinner for all the delegates, so you are kindly requested to attend that dinner. Thank you.